Test, test, test. Hey everyone, I hope you guys are all having a good day here today. First time back in a while. Let me actually put my head up. I think that I might actually look a little bit better here. Yeah, there we go. Happy to see all of you guys back. Thanks for all the support over the past few weeks. It has meant a lot. Going forward, I'm probably going to stick to sometime around this time for streaming, so 6 p.m. Pacific time. Maybe I'll go 5 some days, maybe I'll go 7 some days. But usually it'll be within like a 3-hour window plus or minus 6. I think that kind of breaks it right. Normally on Fridays, I think I'd actually be going a little bit later. But as this is kind of my first day back in a while, I figured it'd be nice to go live right now. So hey Nicholas, hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing well. You guys can't see Loki, but he's over here trying to say hi. I think he just wants free food, which I don't have right now. All my food's upstairs, but let me see if I can show you guys. Loki. Yeah. So, he's here to say hello as an emotional support dog, right? Alright, let me see how this is working out here. Well, I don't know now. Normally he goes down. Now he's just kind of sticking up here. I think he just wants some free food, but like I said, all of his treats and stuff are all upstairs on the sofa. Okay. So, hope you guys are all doing okay. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin and a whole bunch of other tokens right now. I'm also going to pull up that FinViz portfolio, I guess I would say, that I made and that I've been adding to $500 a week, and we'll be going over some of those to see how they've been doing. I think it's more of a mixed bag, to be honest, just because of how things have been rolling, but we'll see how it works out, right? And hey to Jonathan, happy to see you back, my man. Yeah, he has grown up a lot. He is much more, I don't want to say dominant, because he's always been a little bit more dominant, but he's much more nosy, and he's very curious about whatever's going on in the world. So, like right now, he just went back underneath the desk, and now he's just chilling, sleeping until I'm done streaming. So, he has his moods. But when I'm talking, and he hasn't seen me talk in a couple weeks right here, he's like, "Well, what the heck's going on over here? Might be something good for me." But yeah, so he's doing pretty well. And hey, Babyfish, hey Larry, excuse me guys, hope you guys are both doing well. I talked with Babyfish today, he was making some good profits. Sent you a few charts on Twitter for evictions, housing, and chip demand sectors from TSM. Oh, okay, let me go. I'll check that out in a few seconds, man. Let me make sure I actually have that over here. Oh, did you message me them, I wonder? Did you message? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, hold on. I was making sure you didn't tweet me in them or something like that, right? Okay. I have them open there, and I'll check them out here in a few minutes. Also, a few different things going forward. I did complete my green screen little studio in my garage. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I have like four different lights in there. One, a nice LED type light system, and then on top of that, a whole bunch of like floodlights for the green screen. You guys will notice, you guys can see my, I don't know what you want to call it, like TV speaker system set up over here. And this is what you guys are going to see for a while. Now, when I go to the main chart software here in a second, you guys are going to see me just in a little box and all the other stuff. But no more green screen. I liked it for a while, but it's just annoying to have a green screen behind me for where I have all my desk and stuff like that. And so the green screen is now in the garage. I have another chair in there. I have another camera in there. And I'll be doing more videos like that. The channels I'm looking to emulate are some of those finance guru ones, but just, with better data, basically. Like I said in the previous video. And then, just to mix things up a little bit here, because even though, let me show you guys this very fast. You guys can definitely see that crypto has been stagnant over the past few months. And I know it looks like we're in a good spot over the past few weeks, and yes, we have been in a good spot. But you can just tell that it's a little bit wonky. One of the things here, actually, even though we have been sideways for the past few months, excuse me guys, we were on the verge of breaking down back again and coming back down here to some support levels around 25,500. But I don't know if you guys saw this, and I'm pretty sure you guys did. Let me go over here. That's Larry's post. What's the best way to go here? Crap, I'm already forgetting what I wanted to talk to you guys about. It was hold on a second here. Can I find it? What did I search? Capo, Tap, no, Todd. Oh, Telegraph. There's way too many different news sources out there for cryptocurrency today. Yeah, here it is. Cointelegraph. Alright, so can I find that tweet here? see. Okay. I can't find the, oh, here's part of it, I guess. So, Cointelegraph originally put out this post saying the SEC approves iShares Bitcoin spot ETF, and then they had to go back and say reportedly, right? But it never happened. But the fact that it was announced, it caused Bitcoin to have a nice little rally, and that changed up the technicals, and here we are where you saw a lot of the shorts get burned out, especially the ones that didn't have appropriate stop losses. So what you had right here is, instead of Bitcoin coming back down here, we actually saw this massive pop here, which is, it's good for us in the long run here, or short term, I guess you would say. But we're getting back up to some of those resistance numbers, and that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. This is still, for me, a time for accumulation, day trading, and having fun with it. One of the things I was going to bring up here today for you guys was the Fairdesk. There we go. So you guys know over the past few weeks, I've been adding about $500 a week into this account and just having fun buying up some stuff. Available balance, I don't know. I feel like I've only invested maybe like $1,300 into it. It's not even the $1,500, right? Or out of the 2,000, I've only invested kind of like a little bit over half of it. However, I wanted to go over some of the positions for you because they're not groundbreaking. Remember, it's just all about the percentage here because we're going to keep on adding week after week after week and add some things here, and see how they kind of work out. But it's been kind of nice to see how this has worked out. So let me drop my head here very fast. And you guys can see, funny enough, Bitcoin has one of the largest percentage gains here because altcoins have been taking a while to catch back up. But you see, Bitcoin, since we bought it, it's up around 7%, 8%. Comp is down 40%. This is because we bought it at a really bad time. We were just kind of, the price of dollar cost averaging, right? It'll go up in the long run, but now that we bought it at the wrong time, it'll come back down. It came back down, excuse me. We have Ethereum. That's only up a little bit. Ethereum really hasn't been doing too much, and I'm expecting it to maybe have some better moves in the future, but right now it's been kind of pathetic, right? HFT, this is more of a I don't know how to describe it, much more of a lower market cap token, and on top of that, I accidentally did a 3x leverage instead of a 2x leverage, so you're going to see a little bit more loss than everything else. ICP only up 1.4%, Loom is up 29%. I actually did a trade on this one separately here, and that was actually a pretty good trade. But again, the same 2x one. OXT up 4, Reef up 3, STMX is down 3. This one's been very, this one's been all over the place, let's face it. But it's been a good one to hold. STMX, let me go over here to the daily chart just so I can show it to you guys very fast. Right? It's been having these nice pops. I wish I could show you more data on this one, but yeah. So far you can see it's been swinging back and forth. And then kind of finish stuff off here. We got Theta. Theta is down 20%. It's one of my favorite things to day trade, but I'm trying to see if I just hold it, what will happen to it. And then we got Toncoin. That one's up about 14%. And overall, the positions are up. It's just up $6, so I'm not going to say it's anything crazy here, but it's up. So that's kind of nice to see. Even when you dollar cost averaging, it's nice to see that you're walking away with a little bit more money, even if it only has been for a few specific weeks, right? Yeah, but that's pretty much how those trades are going right now. As far as Bitcoin, it's been pretty nice, honestly, just to have that weird bump in the news. We all know that the stock market's been getting hit kind of hard because everybody's been turning their gaze over to the dollar index, to rates and everything like that, and bonds. It's just been, let's just say, chaotic. Let me do something very fast. There we go. I went outside with Loki for like a cool 2 hours today, and my legs got chewed up by mosquitoes. So like, I need to scratch them. But what do you call? But you're not supposed to scratch them. But yeah, going forward here, I'm not really looking forward to doing any big longs at this point. I'm kind of slowly just waiting to see what's going to happen here. You've had a few opportunities over the past few weeks to buy. We've talked about these at length here. And just in case some of you guys are hesitant about buying in the future and you guys see a pattern, there were a few different signs out here. The first one was we hit the level of support down here. We managed to bounce off of that. We had talked about that one, but to be honest, that one was kind of rough because even if you followed us along with that one, you were still waiting 1 week, 2 weeks, it popped. You might as well just sold right there, and then you were kind of waiting to get back in, or you waited the whole time to finally make a profit over what you would have had back then, maybe like over the past 3 weeks, right? So, kind of weird. But just don't forget some of these smaller trend lines, okay? This one was pretty interesting. It was pretty brutal, to be honest, because you saw how we broke back down, not on the weekly chart, but on the daily one. And this kind of goes back into that fear that people had before we had that false news breakout. That false news was able to pick us up, which is weird. You know, we're not used to having false news stories like that, at least I'm not. But it still ended up helping us out a little bit, okay? And hey, Cutscenes, happy to see you back as well. Go back over here very fast. There you go. And one last thing here, and I'll just start going on over to other tokens here. Unless you guys have specific questions on Bitcoin, I'll answer any specific questions. For today, I'm just getting back into the groove of things, so, you know, we'll just stay chill with it. Plus, it's Friday. And this is what we were talking about before. You see how we had a breakdown? News came out, and all of a sudden, Bitcoin's been on a tear here, which is fine. You know, we'll take it as we can get it. And just be careful as we move higher and higher. We are going to start hitting those levels of resistance, depending on which Fibonacci levels you guys like to use, or points, I would say. You know, I like to sell around here. I think I tweeted something about scaling out. No, that was an XRP thing. But usually I would scale out around here. It has gone a lot higher. And that next level, if you guys want to trade it, is actually at 30,500 here. So it's about 1,000 points up from where we are now. That's not too bad. And hey, RW, where do I think XRP is going? XRP is an interesting one. When it comes to like long-term projections, it's not going to be anything simple. I would say it's going to be something very, I'm going to give you a wide range because I'm not good at long-term things. Heck, I would have said Dogecoin only makes it to like a nickel at the most extreme circumstances, right? Right? So bear with me on that one. But as far as XRP is gone, and Secretfish, thank you very, very much, man. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's nice to see you back, my man. And hey, Etrev, happy to see you guys back as well. Thank you, Secretfish. It's been nice to see a little whale thing on here. I haven't seen a whale in a hot minute. But thank you very much, and I appreciate it a lot more than you know. Maybe you do know, right? All right, let me go over here to XRP very fast, and thank you, Secretfish. I really do appreciate it. Now I lost my train of thought, right? Can I find a longer term XRP chart here though? Let me just do that very fast so I can, you know, help out a little bit more. Is this really the Binance one? Wow, it is. I don't know why it's not giving me more data. Or am I I'm on the monthly chart. Shit. Okay, never mind. My bad. Thought I was in the weekly chart here for a second. I was freaking out a little bit. Okay, so you guys know that even in 2021, when we're having this huge bull market, and thank you again, Secret Fish, that's bullish right there. You guys know that even though we did have this bull market a few years ago, unfortunately for XRP, it really didn't have the opportunity to take off like a lot of other tokens. But, you know, if you go to CoinMarketCap, there you go. I've been getting CoinMarketCap confused with CoinGecko. Oh, whoa. You can tell I haven't been on this in a minute because it's in light mode. There we go. But, you know, XRP has always been a very valuable coin. I'll just say that just because of the high market cap, so people have a lot of faith in it, right? And if you guys have ever been to a fintech convention, I went to a couple of you guys, saw some videos about that, you are going to see XRP people there making deals and getting business done behind the scenes, even though there is the massive lawsuits on it. Now, over the past few months, you guys have seen that the SEC has been so I don't really think the SEC had much credibility even when they started all these lawsuits, you know, a few years ago. But now that they're losing and losing and losing and losing and losing, you kind of have to wonder, like, what more can they do to stop XRP? I really don't think there's much they can do, right? And so, that being said, as far as how much further XRP can go in the future, I would say that if we go back into another altcoin season, you can see the last time, I don't know if this is, do this for you very fast. Let's maybe go to 24. Yeah, it's a little bit easier on the eyes for you guys to see, I bet. All right, you see that high point is around $2. I would say that we could easily get to $4, and you said specifically that was going to be 2024. Yeah, I think $4 is realistic if we go into a full-on bull market, and then the altcoin season that comes up after it. I could see it going up to about $4. Now, you know, if you want to have a nice little, like, hey, I want to scaling out, honestly, that's kind of around that 350 range. So not even $4, just $3.50. One of the things I was looking at, I think I did this, I want to say like 3 months ago here. But one of the things I've been trying to go off of here is go up to the Fibonacci extension. All right. That one mark is way up here around $5.57. Could it get up there? I mean, sure, it could, right? And I usually have a bad history of lowballing cryptocurrencies, which is why I usually scale it a lot earlier. But one of the things that I like right now is I see right up here, there's one around $3. So between 3 and 5.60, I think you're fine. If you want a zone, I would say this zone is where I'm happy to scale out of. One of the things here is I like XRP also. You can see that's about a 600% return if you just get into that middle zone. One of the reasons I do like XRP is it does have a larger market cap and it's trusted. We haven't heard any, malicious lawsuits coming out against them, right? It's more of are they meeting regulatory requirements and things like that? Really boring stuff that the SEC has to really dig up a case because they really don't have anything to go against them, right? And hey, Discount Killer, happy to see you back. Let me know if you have any questions, guys. And thank you again, Ticketfish. I'm gonna keep on saying that even if I already said it once, right? But yeah, so I'm keeping track of that. But I just want to refer you to this, and this is kind of how I personally have gotten out of altcoins in the past. The only time I've really given you guys a specific, like I'm getting out half here, I'm getting out a quarter here, or something like that, when it comes to an altcoin season type run, which would be happening for XRP, that was Dogecoin when it hit 50 cents. And that was because it had gone so parabolic that I told you guys I'd be selling off half my Dogecoin at 50 cents. Then I would sell off another 10% at 60 cents, then 70 cents, then 80 cents, then 90 cents, then $1, whatever. And it'd be 5% here, 2% here, 10% here, whatever. But that's how I wanted to structure it because I didn't know if Dogecoin was actually going to hit $1. In hindsight, it actually still could have been possible for Dogecoin to hit $1. But that, of course, didn't happen. So when I'm not expecting something to go completely parabolic, because I don't see XRP going up 5,000, 10,000%. What I'll often do is just try to time it back to what normally happens with Bitcoin. So I think I've told you this before. If I go back over here to the weekly chart, make sure everything's there. Daily chart, there we go. Let's get rid of that line right there. Usually what I try to do is every time Bitcoin hits an all-time high, right? Usually we have this kind of stagnation before we hit there and things get a little bit more choppy, but we're still moving up and making these higher highs, right? Right here, higher highs, whatnot, everything's working fine. Usually after we make that all-time high, whether it's here, all the way, we start to get closer to this death cross that occurs between the 20-day and the 50-day moving average. Usually that's an opportunity where I start thinking of selling the majority, like the rest of my longs when it comes to a cryptocurrency, okay? So let me show it to you maybe this way. So this death cross right here from Bitcoin, right there, the date it happened, let's just say right here, Wednesday, April 21st. So if I open up this chart right here, just show you this very fast. Okay. And let's just pull out a random token. I mean, ADA has as much as name recognition, I think, as XRP, maybe a little bit less, but still kind of around there, right? Oh, I just had ADA in my sights and then I lost it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's get rid of those. Those aren't for this chart. And then we have April 2021. Oh, which one was that? April. Oh, I'm on a weekly thing. Okay, hold on. You can already see how it went up higher, though. So this is where you kind of have to put your own little twist on things. And why I, like you guys know by now, I tend to sell a little bit too early. But, in hindsight, what am I looking at? In hindsight, I still sell at a pretty good rate compared to those who hold on too long. Wednesday the 28th. Okay. All right. So you see, you could even see after the death cross, Bitcoin actually kept on going higher and ADA kept on going higher. But not the point here. All right. If you zoom out on this chart a little bit and you see what's going on, and you see this is where Bitcoin's death cross was. Let me just go to a weekly chart so it's actually easier. I'm okay with accumulating, which I'm doing right now, accumulating down here, all right, and then riding the wave up towards up here. This profit is all I'm looking for. If it goes higher, awesome, and that's why I said you could scale out half, you could scale out 10%, you could scale out 20%. But I am usually starting to get serious about selling when that marker is broken. And often, as you noticed, it can keep going up, all right? And we'll try this out with another stock here in a second, or crypto token. But if I just come down here, you know, like let's just say the average around 4.5 cents, even though it went as low as 2 cents, less than 2 cents. All right, let's just take a rough average. All right, that's still 3,000% return. All right, now, see, this isn't not going to be the calculator we want. Oh, Jesus, why don't they have good calculators? Oh, there's Omni Calculator. This is always good. Okay, so let's say you invested, I mean, let's just say 500. Let's not be something really crazy there. You could even go less, right? Percentage return, what did I say it was? Like $3,000, or excuse me, 3,000%. Yeah, like around 3,000%, okay? You know, that 500 bucks can turn into $15,000. And if you're doing that with token after token after token, it works out. Now, you may only get a $2,000% return. That's only $10,000, right? But, you know, it's still a lot of money. It's still a lot of money, right? Always, always, always a lot of money here. So let me do this one more time here, and let's just do it with something. Solana. April. Kind of around here-ish or so. All right. So even Bitcoin was going more stagnant and Bitcoin was starting to fall back down. There are still tons of altcoins that do have that extra consolidation and they do lift off. You usually think of them as maybe Solanas or the MATICs and things like that. And so they can keep on going up, but it's just as a heads up, eventually things aren't going to be as good. And when Bitcoin really starts to turn over, it gets a little bit ickier for the rest of the market, okay? So don't use it as that hard point to sell everything, but usually for me, it's a sign that, hey, I need to start getting rid of some stuff here, okay? Not every crypto token is going to be the same, but I'm much more on the cautious side, all right? The best thing you can do, in my opinion, is just to have that scale out zone, and then as it goes higher and higher, you can scale out and scale and scale out. And if it has a plummet or something, then you just say, well, you know, my stop loss hit, I'm out, but I still walked away with some money. So another way to think about this here very fast is you see where that line is. Let me just go over here very fast. All right. We have that line right there. Let's say the average isn't at the bottom, but just somewhere down here, you know. That's about 1,200%. Let's say you wanted to scale out 20% or 50%. Let's say more aggressive, like 50%, something I would do, okay? 50%. And then if it breaks maybe back down below this or something like that, you end up scaling out even more, or you just sell the whole position. As it kind of continues to go back up, you could scale out 10% here, another 20% here, another 30% here, and then you maybe wanted to scale out some up here, but all of a sudden it crashes back down, so you flush out right here, and everything you have is gone, and you've still managed to walk with a good amount of money. Not everything is going to be as simple, but that's usually the way I think about it. But long story short, you know, $3 to $4 is my kind of price range for it. Maybe it has more room to run this time because it doesn't have the SEC on its back. I think if you guys remember, this is like a historical thing, Atlas holding the world, so to speak, on his back. I feel like that's what the XRP was dealing with when it came to the SEC, right? Because the SEC has been kind of turned into this weird tool where they're not really trusted by people, and the government's been kind of turned into this weird little space where a lot of people don't trust the government, right? Heck, they wanted to do the misinformation board and stuff like that, council, like, it's all wacky stuff. And so, you know, without the SEC kind of there poking at them, well, you should see, I think XRP have a really good rally this time around. one last thing. The SEC's credibility has taken a blow just because of what's been going on with Sam Bankman-Fried. I was very disappointed when they didn't make the trial public so people couldn't watch it. And to me, that's really been a symbol. Like, they want to keep a lot of the good details all hushed up because, honestly, the news doesn't report on everything coming from that case. We get little tidbits here and there, but it would have been so much better if we could watch it the same way we were able to watch the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, because everybody in the whole country watched it. It was a crazy event, but I know everybody wouldn't have watched the FTX trial with Sam Bankman-Fried, but I still think it would have been very informative for us who actually trade crypto, hold crypto, understand how deep all of this went, because now the SEC's reputation has been tarnished as well. I don't know if you guys saw the XRP CEO statement. He was talking about how the SEC was chatting it up with Sam Bankman-Fried, and how that's how one of the reasons they like lost the way. It's been entertaining to watch that tidbit here, but anyway, just keep track of that. When that does happen, usually those death crosses, that's usually when I'm starting to feel like I'm a little bit done with crypto. And I know there's only a matter of, I would say, weeks until the rest of the market kind of comes back down, and then right, I would say rightfully so, you could start looking at shorts for the next few months and see where it goes from there. Sometimes we do have these weird moments, though, historically, where... Let's get rid of all that. This is not the right part of my chart yet. Oh, I think my grandmother's here to give me some car keys for my sister's car. That's in my thing. That's okay. So she's probably going to come in here in a few seconds and start talking. We'll see how that goes. But yes, I hope Loki doesn't get mad about somebody going to the garage. That's what I'm more afraid of, actually. Okay. But anyway, when you see this on the daily chart, not always is it, Bitcoin having this complete disaster. We had a little bit of disaster here, but that wasn't all-time high. All-time high, slow burning disaster. So we're not entirely sure what's going to happen. Slow burning disaster, right? You can see like immediate disaster actually right here, then a slow or burning one. But just understand it's not going to be as easy as how I kind of laid it out. I'm hoping it is, but at the same time, usually once you start seeing that, usually you can start to say, hey, maybe I can start looking at some not puts, but some shorts. And even right here, right? Happen right there. Depending on how long you want to hold those shorts, you can make some good profit. I don't know, a 5x leverage short from here, they could have made 50%, 55% times 5. That's a few $100. Not too bad there. And you could even go more bold and do something like a 20x or 50x, but I'd recommend you do some practice as far as that's concerned, right? But yeah, so keep your eye on it. I do think it's going to do well. And one of the things it's trusted. When I go out to places like the Money 2020 conference or some of these other expos in Vegas, it has a large expo. People are going up and they're wanting to use their surfaces for part of the back end of their things. Hold on a second, guys. I gotta let my grandma into the house because I locked my garage door like a normal person would. So I'll be right back, okay? Wait 1 second. Okie dokie, I'm back. I think she just opened the garage and left something in there, probably the keys or something, and then like left. So we'll wait and see. Yeah, she's left the keys inside. That's fine. Oh, let me go. Make sure I catch up everything. Does XLM follow XRP? No, I would say it's kind of follows that same pattern as most altcoins do against Bitcoin. XRP, in my opinion, is kind of its own little thing, just because they specifically have been targeted by the government and kind of extension XRP, the SEC, just because of what they're trying to do. When they get going and when they are more mainstream, and they're getting there, the banking system itself kind of is maybe a little. The banking system itself is threatened in a few different ways. Not catastrophically, the banking system is going away forever, but it can cause problems, and sometimes those problems can make regular situations just a little bit worse. Think of what happened this March with a couple banks going down. So, it can just mess up plans for other institutions, and that's what they're afraid of. But like here, I'll show you something very fast. We don't actually go into the main page of XRP, do we? There you go. All right. Utility for the global economy, XRP. Fast and green, the digital asset XRP was built to be the most practical cryptocurrency for applications across the financial services space. Financial services space. Okay. XRP powers in it. Well, let me just go to the right part here. Can I click on this? No. All right, well here. Transactions settle on the XRP ledger in 3 to 5 seconds. XRP transaction fees cost 0.0002 per transaction on average. The XRP ledger technology can handle 3,400 transactions per second. There have been 80 million closed ledgers since 2012. The XRP ledger is 61,000% more more energy efficient than proof of work blockchains. So they got a lot of stuff going for them. But how this affects the banking system is, I'm not entirely sure, like from a detailed perspective just yet. I would say it kind of adds more uncertainty, and that uncertainty is what everybody's always afraid of when it comes to stocks, cryptocurrencies, forex, anything out there. I'm almost surprised this has not been bought in by a larger institution. I know there's money that's gone into it as investors and stuff, but I thought there might be some type of larger buyout at this point, and we'll maybe have to see if that does occur. But I'll keep track of it. What's right here? And hey, discount MATIC. Oh, let me see. I don't know. There we go. Now, as far as MATIC's concerned, this is kind of actually something that's pretty interesting, because depending on how you see the crypto market right now, Bitcoin is at a level of resistance, and we have the opportunity to break here. I'm hoping that we can manage to break out, and if we do, then we can go a little bit higher, and then we're talking about times of, are we going to $35,000, $40,000 after a massive breakout? Almost kind of think of what happened with the oil prices. Turn that down, there you go. What happened with the oil prices once we broke out above that $80 range, we kind of almost shot up straight to 100. That's what I expect to happen with Bitcoin if we do manage to have that breakout. But okay, I keep on talking like this and you guys can't see my hand. I'm used to articulating with my hands out here. The simplest thing I can say for MATIC is this. All right, just keep track of this. If Bitcoin can just stay sideways for maybe a couple more weeks, or at least not drop like 5-10%, like give up all the gains we've just had over the past few weeks, there's a good chance that MATIC will have a pretty nice pop off, and will probably be aiming for maybe close to 70 cents, and that's just kind of around here where the 200 is. It's gonna be 200 weekly moving average, but that's gonna take a little bit of time. So if you want it to be, and you were looking for multi-week longs, which I do every now and again, not all the time, but I do them. I would still be looking to accumulate MATIC at this point in time. I would not be doing something with high leverage when it comes to these types of things, though. Normally, I will do a lot more money up front, and then I'll do a 2x leverage or a 3x leverage, and then I don't have to worry about the position getting liquidated or anything like that. And then, of course, if we kind of zoom in here to what we're looking at on the daily chart, you'll have your stop loss somewhere down here around 50 cents. Now, you kind of missed your opportunity to buy. Maybe you've already bought some actually, but support. You can see that support level right here. And let me just add on one thing here. I think guys should be able to see this a little bit more. On the daily chart, at least, we did have a little bit more of a MACD crossover. The MACD hasn't been the best for MATIC, but I can show you guys what has happened. 10th. So the crossover didn't happen right here, so you kind of missed out on that large one. I would say for MATIC, I think it's the 2 hour and the 4 hour ones that work best. Let me actually start off with the 2 hour here. I see a little bit more lag on it, but you can at least see. There we go. We're going to start from this peak one. This crossover worked okay with this drop. This was kind of muddled, to be honest, so just be careful with that. But of course, how much do you want to long if you're headed for a major level of resistance? You know, that's where the common sense comes in there a little bit more. But anyway, here, you know, you can see the crossover right here. That crossover was on the Friday the Friday the 6th. That was we're on a time thing, aren't we? Friday the 6th at 3 a.m. So that crossover happened right here. So it actually gave you a little bit of time. And again, it ran up right into that level of resistance. So I'd be using the 2 hour and the 4 hour for the MACDs at least. And they seem to be working okay. The 4 hour chart right here, a little bit of a larger move, you can tell. Right, crossover right there. Still doing okay. A little bit of a problem right there. But I guess, you know, depending on how you want to look at this, it just had a breakdown and now it's going back up. You could have easily just went something like this. You know, sell at number 1. That's the way I typically do these things. Or even down here at the 0.786 level. Or this is if you want to do it this way. You can have your daily technicals and be using them while you trade on the 4 hour or the 2 hour charts. But for whatever reason, MATIC, the daily charts haven't been doing it for me. Oh, and it looks like the daily chart, we just had a golden cross here as well. So that's actually some pretty good news as well here. So if you wanted to do it this way as well, you know, see sell level 1, level 2. Right now we're starting that level of resistance right here. We're trying to use the 50 and the 20-day moving averages as your levels of support. Go back over here to the weekly charts. All right. Pure consolidation. So for right now, I would actually be accumulating here. And this is, again, if you're overall bullish on Bitcoin, and then your stop loss for something like a MATIC would be at a 3%, 3.5 cent stop loss. So be prepared for that because that'll end up being about 6%. Okay. If you're hoping for it to get back up to 70, though, I mean, that's 6% loss for like a 30% gain. The ratio is there for you to take that opportunity. But really, it just depends on if you guys believe that Bitcoin can keep on moving over the next week to 2 weeks here and have that breakout. Because there's a few scenarios where, you know, you probably have seen them on Twitter or TikTok or wherever, where people have been saying a few different bearish things as far as Bitcoin's concerned. So the first one here is a very ugly head and shoulders if it does come down to this, where we have a shoulder right here. We have a head, even though it's only a tiny bit taller, you know, higher than this other shoulder. And then a shoulder over here, then we break down, and then we have a neckline breakdown, right? And then from there, we start coming back down to maybe kind of around 21,500-ish, and then bounce from there and potentially continue moving down here. This is if recession hits sometime, right? That larger move down. At this point, we don't have a reason to believe there's a recession. Besides, okay, we do, but it's not in the cards because the economy is still staying stronger. As the economy gets weaker, then you're going to start to see more people saying stuff like that. Because I'm still overall pretty bearish in the entire economy, so I'm still therefore, in my opinion, bearish overall on Bitcoin. But it doesn't mean we can't trade and have a good time here, right? But yeah, so just keep an eye on Bitcoin right there because that could be pretty bad. But over the next few weeks, you know, we'd all prefer that next week not be one of those candles where it's just a small body candle like this with a wick that went up here. And then we close right down here, because the following candle would look something more like this, where we have a little bit of a wick, and then it's just a long candle that ends up closing down here on the red. That's my fear. I think that that's probably going to happen just because of what's happening with the support here. But if we do manage to break out, all bets are off on the altcoins. You want to load up on those as fast as you can and ride the wave. So just keep that in mind, okay? The only thing that really gives me pause as far as news events is what's been going on with Gaza and Israel. I don't actually want to pull that up on the stream because last time I pulled up a war scene, I think it was like the Ukraine war when it started, YouTube tried to give me a strike on my channel. So I don't want to actually do that. Usually what I'll say now is if you want to see what's happening with Israel, go go check it out on the X app, because that's the only place where it's not going to be filtered. You will find some misinformation there, but usually community notes will kind of get in there eventually. Now, if that war does spark off with the ground invasion, that's really what everybody's waiting for it now. That could have some consequences on the overall markets. You may see rates go a little bit higher, and then I don't know if it's going to really hurt Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's been actually, as you guys can see, doing fine over the past few days. It may hurt the stock market in such a way that it actually comes back down as well. So as we take a look at the NASDAQ and things like this is the weekly chart for the NASDAQ. I mean, talk about just following the pattern here. I mean, that pattern just swept. And it's been rough to watch, right? But there's still an opportunity. Give it a few months for us to consolidate and then break back out. Now, is that likely? I would just give it a 50-50 shot. It looks pretty pitiful right now. But you do the Dow Jones Industrial Average. No, where's my Dow Jones? Where's my Dow Jones? SPY, NASDAQ. I accidentally got rid of the DJI. Up. I'm sure TradingView must have a better way to do this, or maybe it's probably not wise just to have 1,000 little things on one specific watch list. All right, here we go. Dow Jones on the weekly. This is just continuing its own little downward trend that we talked about a while ago. But even then, you saw it had hope. The hope just got crushed. So just be aware of what's going on. Even the monthly charts here haven't been looking the best for as far as what we're looking for, right? But down right there, month, breaking down. Monthly moving averages don't usually matter to me too much, but weekly ones do. We're looking for a death cross here pretty soon. The NASDAQ that we just talked about, not even close to a death cross, not even close. Like what I said, a lot of that stuff happens next year, not this year, next year, which is why I think everybody's been pushing back the bad news until next year. And then we got SPY. SPY broke down. Before it had only broken down on the log off one, but now it's actually breaking down overall the trend lines here. So just be careful of what happens with the SPY. This one's a lot closer to actually breaking down below where that support level is on this type of bullhorn, I guess is what you might want to call it. But just be careful if you're trying to go out there and do some investments right now. Usually what I would say is the best way I've been finding to make money, I guess I've been trading too much because mindset's not in the right spot. 2 hour and 4 hour charts have been pretty nice to me as of late, and I'd probably recommend you guys taking a look at those, especially if you guys are still trying to do paper trading and stuff like that. I mean, I even got the Luxalgo. I can do the price action. I don't have the smart money concepts, but this is just a fancier version of it. Can I change the colors of the candles? There you go. You look at some of these on the weekly charts, we're still actually in a green spot. You can see how long it can take something to go from red to green, but we're still green. Go over here to the daily chart though, however, and you can see we had to change our character there. Then we spiked back up, and now we're coming all the way back down again. So again, it takes some time, but usually these signals do give you some opportunities. But this is why I've been a little bit more bearish over the past few weeks, and you can already see the breakdown that happened a few days ago as well. This trend line right here, though, is a little bit more difficult, right? Most people probably wouldn't have drawn a line like that. I wouldn't have. I would have been looking at that breakdown below the neckline right here, and then it continued on from there. All right, so just be careful with the overall market right now. Those rates are just brutal right now. They are just absolutely brutal, and this doesn't seem to be anything we can do about it. And then somebody wanted to ask about Tesla. And good evening, Bidford. Happy to see you back. And hey, GT, thank you very much as well. I could have swore somebody asked about Tesla, but I just missed it. Okay, if somebody has a question on Tesla, let me know and I can do it up here. What is the best for lot size for XRP? I have 200,000. If you wanted to buy any XRP, it's going to be up to you to determine how much you want to invest in it. Usually when it comes to most altcoins, I usually have a hard cap on how much I want to put in there. And then I usually put the majority of my money into things like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Everything else, it can have thousands of dollars in it for me, but most people probably would only want to have hundreds of dollars or maybe $50 to $100, depending on how much money you can really just toss at a specific token. I would say usually I just like to go in terms of hundreds or thousands. Usually hundreds are a lot easier for people. Usually when it comes to tens, you can do that, but if you're only going to invest a small amount of money into a token, I would just caution you to still play by the same rules as if you were a larger player and not try to hold too long. Don't try to make your $10 turn into 500,000. When the guy that invested 5,000, his money is turning into 500,000, right? Don't expect to have those parabolic returns as far as like the cash you get back, unless you're willing to put a lot of money up in there. And if you are, awesome, but XRP to me is not going to be something that goes up thousands and thousands and thousands of percents. It's just going to be something that goes up 1,000%, maybe 1,500% at the max. And then if you factor in that I lowball a lot of this stuff, maybe 2,000%. But even there, I don't think so. But heck, I've been wrong a lot about how far tokens can go. But again, as long as you're making a profit, who cares? And when it comes to a bull market, it's a lot easier to make a profit, which is why right now it's mostly that accumulation time that we all like, because you still got tokens right now like XRP, like Ape token. I mean, this thing, whew, and you can see, look at this thing is about to break out here. Right now, it's not exactly on the trend lines here, but it's getting close. So if I were to do tap, 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 go over here, extend that red line, right? We're still pretty far away. Let's go to log right here. If you do the log right there, then you're in a whole different spot as well. But there might be some way here. Yeah, even really, there's not really much here yet. I don't want to log on. Yeah, I just wrote it down. But yeah, there's still a lot of tokens right now that aren't too healthy. And that's kind of been some of the scary parts here. But again, accumulation is going to give you the best opportunity to make money down the road. As far as things like Ape, though, I'm not entirely sure what Ape is going to be able to do unless NFTs overall can make a comeback. I've gone to a couple NFT conferences. I was supposed to go to one in late September, but I canceled, to be with my mother. But I still haven't seen the case made for why we need NFTs. I understand the infrastructure behind NFTs, that's valuable, but why you would ever need to go to OpenSea, right, and then buy something on here, like why would I need to buy why would I need to buy this, right? I know my head's blocking part of it, but why would I need to buy this? There's no reason for me to buy this. And that type of stuff is why I think Ape, can we type in Ape? Yeah, board, Ape Yacht Club. And thanks, Bool. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name right. Thanks for subscribing, man. Why do I need this stuff? Why does anybody need this stuff? Actually, not just me. But, activity, here we go. Sales have slowed down quite a bit. This is 2021, 2022. I mean, they're pumping. And ever since then, 2023 came along. It's been going down and down and down and down. Who knows when it's going to eventually find a low point again before trying to take off. But, just be careful with them, I guess. You can go over here to analytics. There you go. Floor price has been coming back up over the last few days. This is the last week here, so maybe I should go to the last 90 days. Yeah, that's a totally different picture, isn't it? Volume and price definitely coming back down. Sales, oh, they're a lot cheaper. I guess people have been panicking, especially 2021, panicking in what, September. That's when the regular stock market was going down, and I guess some FTX stuff on there too. Now they're picking back up a little bit here, but yeah, I mean, somebody just bought one 6 minutes ago for 25.79 wrapped Ethereum. You know, but yeah, weird times out there if you want to do that type of stuff. Oh, there we go. And you could even see today Bitcoin's coming back down a little bit here. Probably just consolidating. Let's go over here to the 2-hour chart. Yeah, slight consolidation. Hopefully it doesn't break down below this right here, the 29,000. Otherwise, we might be coming back down. Nice entry point here with the change of character, though. This one on the bottom, so I didn't really do too much. I gave you a few hours of opportunities, but not enough. Let's see right here. Yeah, nothing too bad here. Backing up to the 15-minute chart until I find another question here. I think people were sold to Christmas, desperate for cash. What do you think? I mean, it all kind of depends. You know, in the back of my mind, I'm always usually thinking about people that kind of grew up like me, because I have a better understanding of how they may think about their money. And so usually I'm thinking of people that maybe are making less than $40,000, right? And then I remember those people don't really have anything to sell, right? And so you start going up to like $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 of income. And what are they most likely going to be doing? They're probably kind of in this weird saving mode, because they're probably not afraid of losing their job right now, because you've seen the job numbers and the economy looks okay from that perspective. What they're probably scared about is the fact that prices of goods continue to go higher, and they're having to choose between what they can afford, right? Maybe they can't afford that nice organic steak. I don't know if there's such thing as organic steak, but you know, maybe instead they have to get bar S steaks or something like that. You see his ears are down because he knows he's not supposed to be doing it, but he's just like, hey. Yeah, So he's being the biggest baby right now. I think he just wants to go outside and play for a little bit. Like, listen to this. Oh, I shouldn't do it, because then he'll think we're actually going outside. Do you wanna? Yeah, but what do you call I think once the fear sets in that the economy is not as smooth as everybody wants it to be, I think that's when people start to really panic and sell. My gosh, dude, these are like nosing my elbow to get some free scratches and stuff. One of the things that I've been noticing here, and I don't know if you guys have been looking at it as well, is you guys know how I don't really like to listen too much to what like CNBC or Fox Business or Bloomberg say, because when the market's going down, like the whole world is falling, and then everybody acts like, oh, I've been saying this for months, and I've been saying this for months, and I've been saying this for a long time, right? I don't like that type of talk, because it makes people believe like they were actually calling like, oh yeah, you should start selling here, when in fact they just said, hey, buy, like, let me show you. All the CNBC hot shots said to buy up on this dip down here, right? It said buy. After this, we're going for a straight breakout, and then we're going up. Like every single one of them people on their little panels were all saying, you gotta buy, you gotta buy, you gotta buy. And I think they were just trying to look at maybe this support level right here, right? And then they were hoping for some type of rip. But then once you start to see some of those underlying problems that we all kind of talk about on the show, or I guess you can call it a show, whatever. Then you start to realize like, yeah, it's not as healthy as that. You know, trends are changing, death crosses are incoming, things are just not as nice as we just wish that they were, okay? Now, I think once that some of that, like, you know, that pain that Jerome Powell keeps on talking about hits them, when they realize that rates are going to continue to go higher, I think that's when they start to capitulate here a little bit more. But I would still say that we might even see a breakout before Christmas, and then afterwards we might even come down even more. Because let me go over here to the weekly chart. Got this marker page. There you go. I mean, in theory, we could still break out right? And December's over here, and then we eventually keep on coming down, and then we're making just a different type of pennant. I would expect something more like that to happen. It's just right now it's so difficult to even try to figure out what's going on because, like, there used to be a point in time where America was this dominant, like, everybody feared with us. Nobody messed with us because, honestly, we would just freaking bomb them, destroy their economy, use our power over the financial system to really just, like, hammer them down into submissions. That fear, for whatever reason, let's not dive too much into politics here, but that fear overall just isn't there anymore. So you've seen Russia invade Ukraine, and then right now you've seen Palestine, Hamas kind of invade Israel, right? And so, with the world becoming more and more uncertain, people, rightfully are just kind of like, what the heck is going on right now? And I think that one of the things that's so striking to me at this point in time is, if you guys remember the day after the war started and Hamas was going after Israel, the stock market was up, right? And so there's going to be a reckoning sometime, and I don't know exactly when that reckoning is, especially when it comes toward debt. It's currently Congress debt news. These are all old, like past week. We have to have time. Let's see. Okay, I should know this, but there's another date for when we have to pass another continuing bill to continue funding the government. But I cannot see where that was. Government executive? No. No, all these are old stories. Why don't they have new? You know what? All the stories have been all about the war. They haven't had time to write anything else, it looks like. January. Okay, so November 17th, it looks like. So we only have a few more weeks before we run out of money again. And then all of a sudden, people are freaking out left and right. Oh, can we pass something? Except for this time, Republicans have their heads up their asses so far that I am just like, what the hell is going on with them right now? I thought that Steve Scalise might win. He had to withdraw. I thought Jim Jordan would win. He had to withdraw. Now I think who's next up is this guy, the black guy, Byron Donalds, right? He has a little bit of sass to him. I like him. And then you got Hakeem Jeffries on the other side, but they just don't have enough votes to get Hakeem Jeffries. They lost the midterms, right? And so we're at this weird point where there's a bunch of uncertainty incoming, and I've never seen the world and the government as chaotic as it is right now. I don't know about you guys. Some of you guys have definitely lived longer than I have, but that chaos is something that I don't really understand. I don't know how to maneuver around too well because it's affecting so many things at once. Remember, a few months ago, we were really talking about inflation. Now we're just talking more specifically about bonds and the rates and hitting like the 10-year hitting 5% or getting close to hitting 5%. It's messing up everything. And then there's wars involved. That's causing oil prices to skyrocket. Like, there's too many unknowns, and people are just having to wonder, like, uh-oh, is it going to get worse, or is this kind of like, we can deal with this, we're America, right? And I don't know if you guys heard this, but both, I think it was President Biden and Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, both said that America could easily pay for 2 wars. And I'm just like, we shouldn't be needing to pay for two wars right now, right? But I think Joe Biden just had a speech yesterday. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I made video cut out of it using a software, and I posted it. Those worries are going to keep on going. Remember last 2 years, there was a lot of talk about, I think the term was a great reset or something like that, the big reset, where eventually America is not going to be able to handle its amount of debt. And because we can't handle that debt, you're going to see the financial system kind of have another collapsing moment where everybody's freaking out. We don't exactly know what to do. And people, people just gonna be like, what happens next? Those may come back into the future. But as far as selling, to me, this doesn't feel like the time to be doing long-term buying, if that makes sense. To me, this just seems like an opportunity for trading and day trading and swing trading. But long-term holding, you might do a little bit just to say, that you're doing something. When in reality, as I've kind of been just in the same position because nothing's been happening the way I want it to, I just still expect the market to go into a recession. I'm still there. But I do think people will definitely be more bearish next year than this year. That's for sure. People have found every which way to be excited about the market. And even now, we're talking about things like, you see Nvidia's down 18% from all-time highs. That's not really a bad thing here. That's not what we should be concerned about. It's the smaller stuff that I'm concerned about, like right here. He's small in the cigar box. Okay, then. You can see us breaking down from here. If we take off log, we're still breaking down. Now, is it the biggest breakdown? No. But, again, let's move it around. Not even there, yeah. So we're just not in a healthy position overall with the market. And if tech falls, we're done. Let me, do I not have the MACD back up anymore? I did have a MACD up. Oh, and maybe I didn't. Oh, yeah, I did have one. Just look how thick those lines are. All right. 1 week, right? We're already seeing some divergence right now. This keeps on coming back down, and this has not come down yet. All right, so you see the MACD, the crossover happened a while ago. Let's see if in hindsight we come back and I'm like, oh yeah, this was actually a really bad thing in hindsight. Whatever the answer may be, you can already see that all those signals are like, Daily chart's a little bit different though. That's nice. We're kind of going through these nice little waves. We just had one a few days ago on October the 18th, and now we're kind of breaking down below that here. So, just take it easy when it comes to stuff like the stock market, but it's definitely not looking the best at this point in time. I wish it was a little bit better. Like even going back to Disney, which I love to talk about because Disney's just been a hot trash because they dove into politics when that's a big no-no, and they haven't been able to put out good movies as of late. I think their Snow White movies in shambles at the moment because I don't know, the story seemed kind of weird to me. Everything about that story is weird to me. But what do you call the way they present it? It always gets a little bit more drama. And you can see the breakdown that happened up here. It never managed to recover. And now, we're all hoping that Disney could have a breakout again. But that breakout's probably not going to happen until March of 2024. And that's when everybody's saying the economy is really supposed to start slowing down. In that case, we start to break down below this. And then you see Disney coming all the way back down to maybe $73, maybe even as low as $61. Scary times. Like, I don't know what happened to Disney. Let me go over here very fast, get rid of all the other crap. Monthly chart here. Look at how fast that sucker came up and how fast it came back down. That, I think, is what I wish people on CNBC and Fox Business would talk about, is how fast the market can crumble when things aren't going its way. And we've seen this even last year, right? Apple is this is the best of the best of the best of stocks out right now, okay? This is the best of the best of the best. Now they have had problems with China and stuff like that, but usually when people are fearful of what's going on with every other company, they tend to put money in things like Google and Apple, okay? And this is one of those things where it didn't come down too much. It came down about 30% in a bad market. That's actually not terrible, okay? I know it looks terrible, but it's actually not. It doesn't even look terrible, actually. But you can see how it came down about 32%. Meanwhile, you got stuff out there like Microsoft, 40%. Meta, probably as bad as it's going to be, Meta came down 77%. And it came that way in about 14 months, you know? And really the bad stuff happened within, 4 months, but still 52% in 4 months. It can happen without us even having time to respond to it. And that's really the big thing here, is we have to be aware of that, because there's been so much money injected into the economy from all this stimulus that we've gotten over the past few years. It's still working its way through the system, and I think that's one of the reasons, happily, that the economy is still going, even though that kind of does lead to inflation, as we all know. But, Netflix, it's a lot of these stocks that we like and we play around with and we look at an overall economy, it could all come down in a very, very, very quick way. So just keep that in the back of your head. Again, it's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen in a few weeks, or maybe even a couple months from now. It'll happen probably sometime next year. But I just want you guys to have that comprehension that things can get bad in a hurry. And when it does happen, like this is Netflix on a daily chart, it's not pretty. There's a lot of sideways movement before the next move comes down. Let's go over here to Meta, right? A lot of sideways movement, and all of a sudden we just start going down, 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 down. And then people are like, oh, I'm going to buy the dip. You see all the people on CNBC, I'm going to buy the dip, I'm going to buy the dip. You got to be careful if you want to do that. Now, to be frank, I did buy a lot of the dips, but I told you guys I was going to be holding them for a while. So I bought this dip over here. I bought this dip over here. I bought this dip over here. And only after months and months and months went through, then it was okay. Remember, I bought Amazon like 95 or something like that. Where was the earnings at? It was an earnings thing, not a... Yeah, so I bought it right here on this day, okay? You see how it kept on going down and down, right? However, even if it had, not even to the top right here, right? Buy right here, still right there to where I still made 25% profit on that investment. If I were to sell it today, okay? That makes sense? So it's all relative, but you don't try to trade those big moves down. I think that's what's going to happen to a lot of people here, unfortunately, because you're going to see a lot of people like me on YouTube kind of giving out. Yeah, emotional support dog here. Yeah, you can see his nice little pearly teeth. Oh, now he just wants to bite me. Okay. AMD notes. No, dude, you are just pushing every button on the keyboard here. What the heck? Oh, okay. There you go. Okay. I don't know why he's so excited right now. I think it's just because I haven't streamed in a hot minute. He has no idea what to do. Do you want to... He's standing at attention, ready. But now I got hair in my beard. Ugh. Hair in my glasses too. There you go. All right. Sorry about that. But yeah, just don't forget about it, okay, guys? Now my glasses are dirty. Ah, shit. Yeah, Mr. Playful over here. Oh well. I will probably incorporate it more into my channel here. I'm going to be doing some more outdoor videos where I'm just talking while maybe on a walk or something, and I'll show you guys what Loki's up to during the walk, because I did invest in some nice microphone equipment so I can strap on like a hook to my shirt while I'm talking, and also going through my phone, so it sounds really nice. Like the quality's better than just like walking around through the iPhone. Ooh, things like that. Let's see. And how Wilder, Austin Hilton is selling his Lux Algo for $50 a month subscription. What does that even mean? And hey, Waldo, I think you just want to talk about this. No. All right, 2 messages above you, there's Elective. That's who asked about Tesla. Okay. So Tesla's a pretty simple one right now. They just had earnings. The market didn't like them too much. But honestly, I was going to do a video about it a couple days ago, but I wasn't sure how I was going to handle out. Tesla, it broke down, then had earnings, and then that kept on moving everything down, right? So that broke down, earnings after this day. Then it kept on coming back down, breaking back down below the 200 daily moving average. Now, usually when Tesla has these dumps, it's actually great opportunities to buy for like a couple weeks or so. So that's kind of what I'm looking at doing here pretty soon. I'm hoping that next week it comes down a little bit more because I'm a little bit greedy. And then from there, I hope it can kind of pop back up here. Now, if you wanted to do it a few different ways here, let's go to the weekly chart. All right. I'd probably just use this one, honestly. Oh, no, we broke down below it. Oh, yeah, you might just have to wait for it to come back down below the 50 and the 200 weekly moving averages. And actually, if I take this off very fast, you guys can see here closely, we had a death cross this week, too, so that doesn't bode well for Tesla going forward. This is the breakdown. This is the breakout you're all looking for down the road. But for now, you know, I'd just be doing short-term swing trades on it for 1 to 4 days or so, just kind of waiting for those little pops. You can do some calls and trade it up. Usually for Tesla, the calls are kind of expensive, which is why I tend not to do it too much. However, waiting for those breakouts are usually when you're going to have the most amount of returns. Like you could actually even see this right here. Woo! Right there, right? But for now, you're hoping for smaller moves like this rebound, maybe not this rebound behind my head, like that. But, you know, just some small ones here, even right there. You guys can see them pretty clearly. That's what I'm kind of looking for. I would expect it to maybe come back down over the next few days. But if you guys are looking to just buy some flat, you know, straight stock, naked stock positions, I guess you'd call them, really, I would start accumulating Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then kind of play it back up. And then from there, have some fun with it. Maybe only 2 to 3 days. Options are probably going to be your best bet if you're looking to make money really fast. But give it a little bit of time to come back down here, especially because on the weekly chart, it can come back down all the way down to like 207. I'd be trying to buy around that 207, 206, 205 level, waiting for that rebound to come up later on next week, and then from there have a rebound. You know, nothing too fancy here, just consolidate. You know, maybe it continues to come back down for a while, who knows. But they do have their Cybertruck coming out pretty soon, and I'm really excited to see what that has to offer everybody. Because you know, when you see a Tesla on the road, you're like, oh, Tesla, I kind of want one of those. Or you see a Rivian on the road, and maybe I want a Rivian truck. I see a lot of Rivian trucks out right now. More than all the eco trucks for Ford and GM, all those combined, I see more Rivian trucks out here in Seattle. But when it comes to the Tesla truck, that just blows the Rivian truck out of the water as far as what, like, I think what people perceive, like, the looks of it is. So, you know, keep a close eye on it, everybody. I think Tesla's going to be just fine. Tesla's one of those things you just hold forever. I mean, that's how I feel about it. Although I wish they would offer some type of, like, you know, nice dividend structure or something. But, you know, their profits are enough, I guess, for everybody. NA Pro, so you trade. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, I was just letting my grandma know I was streaming, but she kept on calling. Okay, so if you're trading for like 2 to 3 days, personally, for 2 to 3 days, I like the 4-hour chart. You can also try to go for the 2-hour chart and the 1-hour chart. Usually, I will look at the 4-hour chart to kind of get an idea of what I want to see, and I'll use the 2-hour chart to maybe get a good entry position in there. But usually, if you have the extra time, which I think everybody has an extra minute just to kind of look at this, I would always kind of try to get the best price possible by going down to the 50-minute chart. So you see when it came down to Bitcoin, you could even see maybe this. See, it's so hard because the news was right there. Somewhere down here, right? All right, so we have the zone right here that I've made. This, you know, I was thinking about it as an order block, but, you know, old resistance and support levels, support levels down here. And this is where you kind of were looking at. A 4-hour works really nice because you can kind of see, oh, we're slowing down a little bit. We picked back up, and all of a sudden, boom, you're looking to go. Where on a 15-minute chart, for me, there's different ways you would probably want to do this. But for me, I want to have that confirmation of a breakout. Right? I'd probably be buying right here as we're breaking it above all these other levels right there. And sometimes it's hard to see that on a 2-hour chart versus a 4-hour chart. And then you can hold on to this for a few days and see how far it goes. And you can see a few days later it kept on going back up. All right. But usually I would say the 4-hour chart's the best. Then you can go down to the 2-hour and then the 15-minute. 1 hours can also be helpful, but I think of the 1 hour and 2-hour chart is pretty similar. Excuse me. And you can see right here as well, 2-hour chart. See, it doesn't give you too much more help. You go over here to the 1-hour chart. Maybe this gives you a little bit better help. There you go. I mean, a little bit, but again, nothing too crazy there because the move was happening so quickly. Anything else here? No. See, some of these are just news events here that just really take everybody out by surprise. But since we're at a major level of resistance here, you're going to be looking for short opportunities going forward unless we manage to break out. And I mean, at that point, we're not even close enough there to really worry about a breakout yet. We're still just trying to get back into the zone, kind of around 31,000, and that's another 1,500 points above where we are. But usually 4-hour, 2-hour, 1 hour, 15, preferably 4-hour, 1 hour, or 2 hours, it's up to you. Each chart is a little bit different. And the 15-minute, though, I do think the 15-minute still has a very good, important role in all this. I'll go to 4-hour chart right now at Bitcoin. You can even see Bitcoin's consolidating right now. You can even see on the 4-hour chart this breakout that happened right here. Whoosh. In reality, it was actually just a nice little downtrend. I mean, even there's a nice little breakout right here. Right? Held support, came back down, then it continued to pop back up. You want your precise entry. Right there. I actually saw this the other day, but I was too busy to actually trade it. Let's see. Four-hour chart right here. There you go. War economy is strong with them. Yeah, it really is. I'm actually, the next video I'm gonna make for the channel actually is the videos where I'm in front of the camera and I have like I make it seem like more of a finance guru type of video where there's more editing involved and not just me just like talking. The next video that I'm going to have is actually going to be me talking about which ETFs are best suited for you to make money off of war, because that's really what we're headed for right now. So these are going to be some of the companies that hold things like Lockheed Martin and things like that, and then some that hold, you can imagine, smaller market cap versions of Lockheed Martin, things like that, and then maybe one oil ETF added on top just because oil's been going up as well with all this drama going on. Victoria's Secret rallied after earnings reports saying they're ditching wokeness and focusing on sexy. See, nothing against wokeness, because wokeness, I don't know, I'm surrounded by wokeness. I'm in Seattle. I'm surrounded by it, right? The thing is, as a shareholder of a company, all I want is for the company I've invested in to maximize their profits so I get the maximum return for my investment as a shareholder. When companies don't do that, it makes me sell my positions in those companies and move over to somewhere else. Like, I used to hold Disney in my retirement account for the longest time. And I don't know when it started. I think it was just like under Trump or something like that. They were in the news too much. Regardless if you hate Trump, don't like Trump, whatever, they were just in the news too much. You know, it's why I don't invest in Ben and Jerry's or if My Pillow guy had stock, I would not buy My Pillow guy stock. All I want them to do is make me money because it's about me, myself, me. I don't care about causes. If I care about a cause, I will physically go out and support said cause. And I haven't felt like supporting a cause in a long time. No, I haven't supported a cause like that. Oh, well, maybe like I support friends, I guess, but I guess those are not, friends are more important than causes usually for me. Yeah, so, but I'm an average guy. I'm not as passionate as other people out there. Some people can go protest every day for a fucking week doing something. And that's just not me. I don't have the capacity to care about such things for so long a period of time. Maybe one day something will strike that nerve and itch that itch, so to speak, but nothing's happened as in the last few years. Can you tell me if you see any plays in Comcast? The earnings are coming up soon. The sneak peek hitting the at lessening profits. Well, I would expect that as well because I don't know if you guys noticed, but you know, cable's pretty expensive. I think I pay 125 bucks for my internet alone here. I think the cable when my mom was here that costs around $200, $250 a month, something like that. Pretty expensive. But Comcast owns a whole bunch of other stuff. The heck? Oh, this is just an old line that got messed up somehow, I guess. Yeah, you can see this bad boy just holding on to dear life right now with this support. We already broke down below the 20-day moving average. And it looks like we're about to break down below the 200. And it looks like the earnings is probably what's going to push it down below, and from there we're most likely heading back down to just 40 bucks. You know, it's only at 42 bucks, 43 bucks right now. It's not like we're going to go down to 40 and 30 bucks or anything like that, but I mean, yeah, you can see that breakdown and how we've been coming down ever since. Let's see, is there any major support levels here? No, there's not really much support from a technical perspective besides those moving averages. So it's not coming out until Thursday. MACD doesn't like it. MACD really doesn't like this thing. Jeez. Alright, hold on a second here. Might have hit the... Yeah, that matches up. You know, if you wanted to get into it, maybe you could start doing some day trading around $41.60. I would not be trying to do buying in here for some type of rally. Mostly because I don't like Comcast as a stock. You can see this sucker over. Look at the monthly chart. You know, had a little pop after the financial crisis, but it really hasn't been doing a whole bunch. You know, I mean, I don't know, $9 to $40. You know, it's gone up a little bit, but I don't feel like it's because they've been making a bunch more money. I feel like these people need a place to park their money. But oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for. I just needed to zoom out a little bit. There you go. Yeah. Resistance, support, resistance. No resistance up here. We just broke through it. Come back down to support. Yeah, it looks like it probably wants to come back down to the low 40s. So that would be around 39, 40. Yeah, just I would say just kind of around $40 or so. I don't know what the, you know, I haven't been blessed with inside the grapevine news, so to speak, but it does look like it wants to continue coming down here week after week on the daily chart. Just wait for it to break back down below this level of support, kind of around 42.72, which is like 20 cents less than where we are now. From there, you're probably going to see it come back down just to maybe $41 to $40, and maybe there you can do some day trades to swing it back up. But I would say be cautious of this one. This is probably something I'd be buying puts on for 2 weeks out, and then only next week would I actually get rid of the puts and sell them for a profit, okay? What do I think about CME? CME Group? I don't even think of, you're talking about. I do not know what you're talking about as far as CME. Maybe you're talking about a cryptocurrency or something. Because it's not showing up here. Because there's no 21,000 for CME Group here. Let me know what you're thinking about and I can help you out though. There we go, okay. Do I keep track of the Magnificent Seven while day trading to see where the market is going and make trades and others based on names on it? Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Netflix, Nvidia, Tesla. Yes and no. I don't do it with cryptocurrencies, but when stocks, yes, it's useful to know where they are. But usually when I'm doing it, it's not like it's the main focus of my trade in and of itself. It's usually I'm already trading those, so I already have an idea, so the technical analysis is already up. Now I haven't done the technical analysis on these in a couple weeks, honestly, so I'm a little bit rusty on it. But yeah, usually you're just kind of aware of where they're at, because if like a majority of them are at a level of support, guess what? They're most likely going to bounce, then from there go higher. So for example, let's go to Apple and Microsoft, probably going to be a good one here. Tesla and Netflix are some of the things I actually don't watch as much, but everything else I do. I trade Tesla every now and again. I have fun with Netflix every now and again, but I don't really like Netflix as a long-term position, so I don't usually care about it too much. Now let's go over here very fast. YouTube breakouts, Apple. Let's go to a 2-hour chart. All right, so Apple broke down on a smaller trend about Friday the 13th. Ooh, that's fun. Meanwhile, Microsoft only broke down right here. Yeah, see, I haven't done the technical analysis on this. What was the bearish point here then? Friday 13th. What was it hitting? No, there's actually no correlation here. We have this old. No, that's not even a thing. No, just breaking back down here. No, nothing too crazy. No, never mind. I was gonna try to find a correlation here, but there is none between some of these. But yeah, usually I'll try to keep track of them, but the majority of the time it's usually for buying and not selling. It looks like these ones are probably better for selling. But here's what I would say. Hold on a second here. I got some weird music in my ears and it's really weirded me out. Okay, let me just go to happy EDM. This has to be happy music, whatever I was listening to. There we go. I won't go into it, but what do you call it? Long story short, yeah, I do try to pay attention to them, but only if they're all kind of in sync a little bit. And I don't think I've seen them in sync in a minute then. Again, I haven't been trading in like 2 weeks, but no, Tesla's not going to be the one I want. Apple's doing okay. Yeah, but let's see. Might be an easier way to show you this. All right, something more like that. You can see how there's a slight similarity to where they're both kind of heading up towards levels of resistance. That's kind of what I'm looking for. But most of the time when I see stuff like this, I'm not just looking at Microsoft, I'm just looking at NVIDIA, right? Not NVIDIA, excuse me, the NASDAQ. Same type of thing, SPY, same type of thing. So a lot of the times, if I notice they're all breaking down or they're all breaking out around the same time, I'm much more bullish and will grow the size of my position, like willing to put more money into it. But usually it doesn't affect too much of how I trade, besides maybe if I notice there's a pattern here, like, oh, everything's looking to break out, maybe I'm a little bit more bullish on everything and I'm maybe come out walking with a little bit more money overall. And hey, Kilo, happy to see you again, my man. Good to see you again, Michael. I'd suppose, along with the defense stocks, things like Smith & Wesson or other brand citizen defense companies, we'll see a gain. And what do you say? It's a mad world. Yeah, I mean, yeah, right now I would say yeah, because okay, so like I said, there's a bunch of uncertainty right now, and the big thing here is this. whether you like it or not, there's been a flood of immigrants across the southern border, and it's been chaotic. I mean, you know it's chaotic when oh, wrong one again. There we go. You know it's chaotic when you have like members of the same party criticizing your handling of a topic. So in this case, it's the border crisis, right? I think it would be good for the majority of Americans to have a gun just for safety's sake, just because it's dangerous. Well, like I had a couple friends visit me from Salt Lake City, and they're off in like Forks, Washington, or something right now. I was walking these two women to get some sushi, and we passed by a lot of, let's just say, unsavory people. Now, they weren't as concerned about the unsavory people. We saw a couple rats in downtown Seattle. That's what they really freaked out about. And I didn't have a gun, but I had a pretty hefty knife on me. And people just want to have that security. But now, since we're talking about the border here, I think they've arrested like over 100 terrorists so far that have tried to enter through the southern border. How many didn't get caught? And then when you think about things like that, I'm like, shit, there's probably going to be an attack on a major American city someday. And if they were able to invade Israel like Hamas did, I'm pretty sure they could do something similar here. Just no phones, all hush hush, just nothing like that. Eventually there's going to be some type of big thing that happens in America, and we're going to get all pissy about it, as we should, but it's just going to cause more chaos, more uncertainty, and this spiral is going to continue here. But I think that concern about the world going into chaos, because there's no real leader right now in the world. Biden is, whether you think it or not, he's perceived to be weak. And then you got China, who's attempting to be stronger than they are, and you got Putin flailing around, screaming and throwing a freaking tantrum over there. Right? The world's kind of in this weird spot. That uncertainty should make people want to buy more weapons. Now, is inflation messing up the price of guns so people don't want to buy them? To a certain degree, yeah. But I think people are going to want to buy guns, and I think the used gun market is really where things are going to start heating up again. But yeah, I do think those types of everyday consumer companies, they will start to see a surge as well, especially since people are just, this world's kind of messed up right now, guys. Like, when's the last time we were so close to World War III? Because, you could imagine, even Obama and the Trump administrations, Obama, his main goal was trying to steer the economy back on track, right? Trump, he had a decent economy to work with. He made it better overall before COVID came in, but his main job was fixing up COVID. And somehow in the middle of that, he'd bombed everybody in the Middle East into submission for a short amount of time. He was just like, my way or the highway, and if you don't like my way, the highway is getting bombed. I remember the Moab bomb demonstration. Jesus, people were he was crazy with the war stuff, or the war deterrence, if you think about it. But now that we got Joe Biden in the house, for whatever reason, right? Things have just kind of gone off the rails across the whole world. And I think it's just because people don't feel like we'll do anything of consequence. We haven't ended the Ukraine war. We've just made it last longer. We're trying to slow down the Israeli war, but Israel seems to just want to freaking kill every Hamas person out there and be done with it. Even if it means Palestinians get caught up in the crossfire, they're like, we don't care, going for it, right? So, interesting world that we live in, but I would assume people are going to want more guns here. I have a couple guns. I know a lot of people that have guns just as safety or hunting or, home defense. Heck, I think I want to buy a shotgun for home defense. That'd be nice. But I got rifles, and, bolt action rifles don't allow you to shoot too fast. But one bolt action rifle goes into somebody, like a bullet, taking out an elk, it'll take out a home intruder. But yeah, I expect them to be making some money as well. If you go over here to Lockheed Martin very fast. War or pop. Or pop. But yeah, once we knew that we were sitting money in arms over there, everything changed. Right? But they're still doing very well. You know? They could be like Disney right now. They could be like Warner Bros. They could be like a lot of other stocks that just kind of come down, like the Russell 2000 stocks that haven't been doing too well. They are doing just fine. And if you're a shareholder in this company, you're pretty happy with how they've been doing, right? Especially if you look at the dividends paid out here, right? Paid out, dividends over here, dividends over here, dividends over here. You're just making money. And if the value of your asset is continuing to go up, you're pretty happy with where everything's going right now, guys. And then Bitcoin's 12-month chart. I need to go to a specific chart for that. I'll just put like this, yeah. There you go. If anything, I feel like we're looking at more of a chart like this. See how we made a high, we came back down, crashed, came back up, and now we're consolidating. I expect we're kind of in this weird part where we're consolidating and then we're going to have a drop and then we're going to pop up. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. But anyway, I'm going to call it a night, everybody. It was nice to stream with you guys for about an hour and a half. I'm going to take Loki outside because he seems to really, really want to go outside. And then coming soon, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow as well, just because I haven't been streaming for one. I want to catch up with you guys as well. I do want you guys to keep tuned in or whatever, because I am looking forward to making some more videos for you guys. I'm going to have to continue to practice editing, but as you guys can see right now, I don't know if you guys can see this, I've practiced on making my own LUT, so you guys can see like a good amount of color. This camera is so good that it kind of gives me a weird different color screen that I'm not used to seeing. And so just so you guys can see this very fast. Let's see. So this is what the camera quality is normally like before I add my LUTs, because this camera is designed to give you a lot of help with color correction. So this is if I don't have a LUT, this is what the base color is. My personal LUT that I helped build myself. Oh, look at this. Ah, you got color in my face, right? And like this, like that, right? And you can even see the back of the color, like there's no purples and stuff right there. So I'm practicing some stuff in the background. I plan on keeping myself busy here after, you know, what's happened over the last few weeks. But I have a lot more time on my hands to be making videos, and I plan to make the most of that here. And so if you guys are have ideas for stuff you guys want me to do, I'd be happy to do that. I've heard a couple people talk about ranking ETFs or ranking portfolios for dividends and stuff like that. So things like that, I think are going to be good, and I'll try to make room for them in the future here, especially since tomorrow I think I should have everything set up in order to start streaming from that new studio. I think I'm actually missing just a few things, and I'm waiting for them to show up in the mail here. It's supposed to come between 7 and like 9 o'clock or something, so hopefully it's here today. It's basically just a good card reader, like a portable storage, so my camera can record, and it'll send that video right over to the storage unit thing. But anyway, enough technical stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day. And guys, thank you so much for your support of the last few weeks. It has